Hi guys, thanks for watching another video of mine. Real quick before I begin, I just wanted to let you guys know that I am having a print sale. So for a limited time, you can get 20% off of your print orders with the code SUNSHINE at my website at happyd-artist.com, and the sale will end July 31st. Today's video is brought to you by Squarespace, which happens to be the platform I've used for years to build my website and run my online shop. Thank you, Squarespace, for supporting my channel and the art community. This drawing time lapse is a little bit unique because I'm going to be trying a Draw This Again challenge with this drawing that I did over 3 years ago. I'm actually going to be using the exact same sketchbook that I used for the first drawing, which just goes to show how terrible I am at finishing sketchbooks. I'm also going to be using these two mechanical pencils from Muji, these two retractable erasers that help with precise erasing, this old blending stick, and this almost used up white charcoal pencil. If you want to pick up any of these supplies for yourself, I'll leave all the information in the video description. So, I've always wanted to try a Draw This Again challenge just to see how my style has progressed and evolved over time, and making this drawing and this video was both kind of frightening and also very eye-opening and satisfying for me, because I went into it thinking that I wasn't really going to see much of a difference between the first drawing and the second drawing. And I chose a piece that kind of features my signature concept, so to speak, you know, like an alien doll-looking girl with some fantasy trippy elements around her hair. And I've kind of always had a love-hate relationship with this tendency of mine to, you know, draw and paint very similar themes over and over again. And honestly, when I was looking through my old art in preparation for this video, I began to sort of worry that I would end up disappointed by my lack of style evolution all these years. But however, I actually was glad I chose this specific drawing because due to how similar the themes were to my current work, I was more able to clearly pinpoint the differences in other things such as my skill set, my general work flow, the mediums I like to use, and just kind of the way that I render similar themes. Throughout the process of making this drawing and making this video, I actually felt a sense of acceptance and maybe even a sense of joy in the fact that I have stuck to themes and styles and motifs that really gave me a signature voice, but also over time, without even realizing it or without even trying on purpose, I had actually made some changes and made some improvements in the way I tell the same story over and over again. So I'm hoping that I could impart some of my lessons that I learned throughout this journey of recreating my drawing, and hopefully it can help some of you guys out there who are self-critiquing or maybe feeling a little disappointed in yourself when you look back on your evolution as an artist. Hopefully I can give you guys a little bit of encouragement. Right off the bat, the first major difference I realized before I even started drawing was my preferences. As you guys know and can see, I am using mechanical pencils to render the shading, the lines, the undersketch, and earlier back in 2016 for the first drawing, I was not using mechanical pencils at all. In fact, if I recall correctly, I used a micron pen and an erasable colored pencil to make that first drawing. So I'm not saying that mechanical pencils are better in any way, but I remember distinctively back then feeling very scared to use mechanical pencils because while I did enjoy the potential benefit of not having to sharpen my pencils, the fact that the points were so thin made me feel like I couldn't have as much ease with the shading portion. I actually preferred to use a slightly duller pencil tip to shade at the time because I felt like I would be able to make smoother blends and gradients, and I wouldn't have to worry about accidentally, messing up my cross hatching or anything like that. And now that I've gotten used to using mechanical pencils over the years, I really figured out a way to make them work harmoniously with the blending stick, and even sometimes leaving some raw pencil marks in my shading to give the piece a more interesting texture. I think over the years I stopped being so obsessed with making things as smooth and as, perfect as possible, and instead over time I started to embrace the personality and character that a traditional pencil drawing or pencil marks could give the overall artwork. That being said, while I don't think I obsess over rendering things perfectly smoothly anymore, I have definitely increased my perfectionist tendencies in terms of finishing all the details. As you can see in my older piece, it was a lot more simple and bare, and there was a lot of negative space, and I pretty much didn't render the hair at all. Like, I only left it, with a few pencil strokes and just let the viewer kind of put the pieces together. And in my new drawing, I am detailing every single element of the piece. The face, the hair, the leaves and foliage around the hair. I even added 2 extra moths because I felt like things looked too empty. I feel like back then, the reason why I left things empty wasn't because I had a good sense of style and I thought that, this minimalist approach was more elegant. Like, it wasn't something I did on purpose. I think back then I was just ready to call that drawing finished because I was probably tired and sick of working on it or wanted to move on to the next thing I had to do. And in this case, even though I was, putting aside some other work to finish this drawing, and I was originally only going to give myself way less time than I ended up taking to actually complete the drawing, I still couldn't put my pencil down. I still kept drawing and trying to squeeze every little bit of detail in. And there's a good and bad element to that because, the bad thing, and I've said this before in previous videos, is I now have a way higher standard of what I consider to be complete enough. So it takes me way longer time to walk away from drawings and paintings because I feel this instinct, this inclination to keep working on them because I'm not satisfied with how they're rendered yet. And then that ends up just putting a lot of pressure on me time-wise, especially since I don't think my workload has decreased at all from 3 years ago, but my bar for how long an artwork should take definitely has increased. So I'm just in a constant fight for time. But the good part of that is I think because now I can't just let a painting or can't let a drawing go, it's definitely forced me to improve my skills. A huge reason I didn't render the hair in the first drawing was because I didn't really like drawing hair. I wasn't familiar with it. I felt like it was tedious and that it would take too long. And somehow over the years, whether it was, on purpose or if I forced myself, I have drawn and painted a lot more hair, and I've rendered it to a level of detail that is a lot closer to, I guess, realism. I mean, I'm still never like a realism artist, but now I at least put in the effort and enjoy the process of rendering hair as realistically as possible, and I don't shy away from those things anymore. And I think I realized that my approach to everything has changed. I avoided painting or drawing a lot of things in the past because they were too difficult or too time consuming, and now I instead really look forward to those challenges and look forward to the lessons I can learn from tackling those challenges. Overall, I really recommend this exercise for anyone out there watching this. For me, it was a great way to look back and give myself a little bit of encouragement over, the ways that I have improved, and to kind of prove to myself that all that practice and hard work paid off. But it was at the same time a really good way to self-critique and figure out the things I need to work on and the things I can continue to improve on. Like I mentioned before, I was a little bit disappointed in my lack of experimentation and branching out of my safety zone, But, that's something that now I have a lot of motivation to work on, and I have a lot more confidence in that journey ahead because I'm able to see that practice really does pay off, as cheesy and cliche as that sounds. But, there's so much truth in that. Practice makes perfect. All right, that about wraps up my video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me create this drawing again. And if you're interested in adopting the original, I do have her listed for sale on my website at happyd-artist.com. And if you prefer a more affordable print option, I do have fine art prints of this piece listed as well. And once again, a friendly reminder that you can use the code SUNSHINE for 20% off of your print orders, valid until July 31st at happyd-artist.com. Once again, a big thank you to Squarespace for all that you've done for artists and for sponsoring my channel. I've used Squarespace for over 5 years now, and it truly is an extremely versatile and intuitive platform for building a website or online shop. They provide you with beautiful modern templates that automatically support both desktop and mobile devices, and editing your site is a breeze because their tools require no coding experience. My favorite features are probably the e-commerce tools, which have been extremely helpful in both managing and growing my art store. From accommodating international shipping to accepting different currencies and payment methods to integrated analytics that helped teach me about my customers, Squarespace gave me all the tools I needed for my professional art career. To test out a free trial, visit squarespace.com, and when you're ready to launch your site, go to squarespace.com/happydartist to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Also, if you want to check out more artworks, works in progress, and just random daily artist adventures, feel free to check out my Instagram, and you can follow me at the handle @happydartist. And if you're interested in learning more about how to paint and draw, I have lots of art educational content on my Patreon page, including exclusive video tutorials, step-by-step photo tutorials, live streams, podcasts, and so much more, all available at patreon.com/happydartist. I'd love to have you join my Patreon family. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!